bus actually is coming through. So I'll turn the camera around and I'll show you inside. Alright, so if you go in the upper level, there's two main levels to this bus terminal. I'm actually going to show you from up here. The little booth is right down there, right in the middle of the frame. But what you're going to have to do to get down to that little booth is you're going to go down these stairs over here. And the upper level is where you get tickets for places like Bogota. But this is just a little tiny booth, and there's only one for Salento. So go downstairs. You go to this little ticket booth right here. It says Salento on it. You buy your ticket. It's 8,000 pesos. That's about $3.50. Once you get your ticket, you just go around the corner here. And the buses normally depart every hour and a half or so. And then there'll usually be a guy hanging out at this door right here. He'll check your ticket, make sure where you're going, and then the bus will be right out here. I don't see a Salento bus at the moment, but it'll be right out here, so pretty easy. Hasta luego, that's all for now. Buenos dias y bienvenido a Salento, Colombia. I just thought I'd tell you a little bit about the terminal, because it's a little tricky. They've changed things over the years. The nice handy thing about where I'm staying at Hostel Zorzal, which you can see behind me here, is it's right by the main bus terminal. And basically the way it works is that the bus coming by here a little bit noisy. He's going to be coming in behind me here, so I'm going to get out of his way. Anyhow, the buses, they will go into town and drop you off at different spots around Salento, and then they're going to circle around, they're going to come down here. So you're going to buy your ticket over there in that little building over there, and I believe it was 8,000 pesos, which is about 350 Canadian, from Pereira to Salento. And so you'll go buy your ticket there, and there's buses on the weekdays. I think they're excuse me, about every hour and a half or so, but don't quote me on that, but they're frequent enough. I think the last bus goes back at 7 p.m. to Pereira. Anyhow, you buy your ticket there, wait for the bus, and away you go. So pretty simple. So if you just got off the bus and you're staying in the downtown Salento area, which isn't too big, unfortunately you're going to have to walk up this rather steep hill with your luggage. And just so that you know, there aren't any taxis in Salento. The only way to mainly get around is to rent a bike or to go in one of the Jeeps. But yeah, there's no taxis, which is, I kind of like that in a way. But speaking of buses, I thought I'd give you a couple tips about going on the buses. My friends have always warned me about, my Colombian friends that is, have always warned me that I should not put my luggage in the overhead bin, because there are thefts that do occur. And also don't put your stuff underneath the seats, because people behind you can reach underneath the seat and grab things. They will steal things that way too. So I've never had a problem in all my 15 trips to Colombia, and I've been on a lot of buses all over the country. I've never had anything stolen, but that's because perhaps I take these precautions. Now, the big bus lines like Mariano, when you put your main suitcase, and you don't have any choice in this, you put your main suitcase underneath the loading area in the bus, they will give you a tag that you'll put in your pocket that'll have a number on it, and it'll have the corresponding number on your bag itself. So to collect your bag when you get to your destination, you have to hand him that tag number, and then he'll look at your tag on your mileta, it's called, or equipaje for luggage. and he'll correspond the numbers and make sure you're getting your proper bag and you're not stealing somebody else's. So that's a really good thing. But some of the smaller bus lines, yeah, they'll put your bags underneath, no tag. So always keep one bag with all your main valuables in it if you can at all. That's a very handy thing to do that I always make sure that I do. So hopefully those tips will help you to never end up having anything stolen. And there's just a little bit of an overhead view of the bus terminal. A couple buses waiting to probably go to Pereira and maybe Armenia. So as I get to the top of the hill, it might be a little bit small, it might be a little hard to see, but you can see the main square cathedral about 5 or 6 blocks away. And blocks in Colombian is cuadras. So if you want to ask how many blocks, you say ¿Cuántos cuadras? So let me tell you a few of the things you can do in Salento. I'm here at the main plaza right now, and just to give you some reference, the main cathedral is right over here to my right, and this is the main plaza here. So coming back to this street here, this is the main street where you can go to the main viewpoint. Right at the end of the street there's a whole bunch of stairs you have to walk up to, and there's a whole bunch of little shops, there's artisan shops, there's a couple little pubs where you can get a drink, but there's all kinds of people making local things like earrings, well, all kinds of things, too many things to list, different art, but lots of things, fun to wander in and out of the stores. And as you can see, these people over here, they've rented some bikes, and you can go biking to a whole bunch of different areas. And then if I come around this area, you can see the fruit stands where you can buy a variety of different fruits in cups. And then all these people over here, they're probably waiting for the jeeps to arrive. It's still a little bit early, so the town's just kind of waking up. But one of the main things people love to do here, which we'll be doing later, is going to Valle de Cocora. And so the jeeps will be all lining up one after another in these stalls. And I think it's only, I'll have to remind myself when I get on, it's about 5,000 pesos, which is about $2.40 Canadian. And it's here comes one of the jeeps here. Thank you. And it's about a 40-minute jeep ride to Valle de Cocora. And Valle de Cocora, as you'll see later on, is just a beautiful, I guess it's a park, but it's not a national park or anything. But it's very green, rolling hills, mountains, sometimes the mist rolls in. And there's no charge to enter the park, but I will say that if you do, there's a circular loop you can do. And if you go one way, there's one private landowner who will charge you, I think it's 2,000 pesos, which is less than $1 Canadian, so no big deal. But if you go the other way, funnily enough, he doesn't charge you on the way back. So okay, so as you can see behind me, one of the jeeps is loaded up. They're just about ready to go. That's how the system works. They go once the jeep is full, and yeah, you can be hanging off the edge, so you don't want to be going when it's raining. But anyway, I'm still in the main plaza here. I thought I'd show you a couple of the main important things that you might like to know about. Okay, so right directly behind me is the main supermarket where you can get fruits and mangoes and a bunch of other you know, typical things, but not a huge selection. But better than nothing, right? So walking a little bit further down the street, the next thing that you might want to know about would be the ATM machine. There's it here. Right here. Yeah, there's only one ATM machine in Salento, so if it's a really, really busy weekend, which sometimes there are fiestas, And a lot of people here, the ATM machine can run out of money, so make sure you bring lots of money before you come. If it runs out of money, you're out of luck. And lots of different stores, all the kind of typical Colombian touristic kind of things that you might or might not ever need. So wandering up the main street, as you can see, there's lots of different beautiful colors on the buildings. Things are a little bit quiet right now. Things don't usually pick up till, well, about 10 o'clock. It's one of those really sleepy little towns that doesn't get going until about 10 o'clock. And I have to tell you, you don't want to come to a place where there's just a whole bunch of foreigners. Then Salento might not be your thing, but I've never seen so many foreigners as I've seen today, to be quite honest with you. But, you know, no problem. It's still a beautiful place. Very colorful. And the people are really, really friendly. La gente de Salento son muy amables, ¿sí? ¿Cierto?
Gracias.
Bueno.
Buen día.
Buenos días. ¿Cómo
días.
estás?
Muy bien.
Bueno. Be a little bit funny. This is a really old phone. I'm not sure how old Salento is. I'm gonna have to ask somebody, but right above this old phone there's this old photo of John Wayne. It's kind of neat. And there's this old coffee grinding machine. So there's a whole bunch of really neat old artifacts from days gone by in Salento. Oh, and one other thing, of course, Salento area is well known for cafe. And there you can take tours to the coffee farms, and there's some organic, I guess you call them plantations, not farms, but anyway, they have tours in Inglés y en Español. This guy's just setting up his little area for café. ¿Cómo se llama?
¿Café?
Tu nombre?
Daniel.
Mucho gusto, Daniel. Soy Thomas de Canadá.
Mucho gusto.
Gracias. Me encanta Salento.
Qué bueno.
Yo he estado aquí muchas veces.
¿Has estado acá muchas veces?
Es muy tranquilo y seguro y limpio. Es un área espectacular.
Sí, a mí también me gusta mucho.
Sí. ¿Nací en Salento? ¿Tú?
No, nací en el Tolima, departamento
Tolima.
de Tolima, pero
Ok.
vivo aquí desde los 2 años de edad.
¿Solo 2 años aquí?
No, desde los 2 años. Tenía 2 años cuando llegué acá.
Ok.
Con unos 21 años.
21 años.
Sí.
¿Y cuántos años es el pueblito? ¿Conoces? ¿Cuántos años?
170, creo.
Ok. 170
años.
Ok.
Es el más viejo del Quindio.
Ok.
Sí.
Bueno, gracias.
Con mucho gusto, Tomás.
Hasta luego.
Hasta luego.
Look at that, isn't that beautiful? I wish we did this back in Canada, all these beautiful colors. I think it's really spectacular.
Riding the friendship circle of my dad.
¿Eso es tu tienda?
Sí, señor.
¿Qué tipos de cosas
Bien
tienes?
pueda.
Gracias.
Bienvenido.
Cuéntame de tu tienda.
Es este pedazo.
Es cosas de partes diferentes.
Artesanías, aritos, atrapasueños,
Sí.
los jeeps que son tan
Sí,
comunes
sí,
acá
sí, sí.
en el
¿Fábrica en Colombia?
Sí, señor.
Bueno.
Ujú. Los bienvenidos,
Ajá.
collares.
¿Cómo se dice eso?
Bienvenidos.
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 Se colocan en toda la entrada de la puerta y entonces
Sí.
cuando uno entra suenan.
Sí.
Por eso se les dice bienvenidos.
Bueno, ¿y cómo se llama tu nombre?
Ana.
Ana, soy Thomas de Canadá, mucho gusto.
Mucho gusto.
Me encanta Salento.
¿Sí?
Sí.
Bueno, eso está muy bien.
Muchas gracias.
Con
Hasta
mucho
luego.
gusto. Hasta luego, que esté bien.
Gracias. Okay, so continuing on with things to do in Salento and the area. I know that there's a bicycle tour where you can, I think they take all the bikes up into an area where these, well, I should tell you about Valle de Cocora. Cocora is the palm tree in that area, and it's the highest growing palms in altitude on the planet apparently, and they're very tall and slender. You'll see some later on when we're going to go there. But anyway, there's a different area apparently where there's a really, just showing you in the buildings, there's a high concentration of these palm trees. So I think it's about 22 kilometers that they drive there, and it's uphill all the way. So they take a bunch of bikes and then you bike all the way back. So that sounds like a lot of fun. And then just up ahead there's actually a little zip line, which I'll show you. I'm not sure if they're actually doing it yet, but I did it last time this year. It's a really quick, short zip line, but you know, it's not, doesn't cost much, and it's fun. Okay, so I'm right by the entrance to the zip line. Doesn't look like it's open just yet, but it will be open soon. I think it's only like $5 Canadian for a quick zip back and forth. And then, as I was mentioning earlier, I'm right by the main steps that'll lead up to the, it's called the La Mirador, and that simply means the viewpoint. So it's a lot of steps, but it's well worth your time to go up there. A lot of people go up there to take photos of the sunsets. Okay, here's a good photo of somebody doing the zip line. As you can see, you're kind of doing the Superman pose when you're doing it. It's fun. You gotta try it while you're here. It's not too scary, so give it a whirl. Try new things. So again, I'm standing at the corner by where the steps lead up to the Mirador and right by the zip line. And if you continue along the road, morning, it will turn into a dirt road. And if you walk for approximately, okay, just looking at the sign here, it says Ruta del Camino Nacional. So if you keep walking up this dirt road, you'll come to some really nice viewpoints where I've taken a few sunset photos looking back towards Salento. So this is a really nice walk if you have about an hour and a half to spare. And just about every time I've done this walk, you'll see people bringing a bunch of horses, and you can, I'm pretty sure you can do horseback tours. I forgot about that because I've never done one. But speaking of which, in Valle de Cocora, you can do horseback tours as well. Looks like it'd be a little bit hard on the butt, quite frankly, but it does look fun if it was maybe for a shorter term. And I'll describe more about Valle de Cocora when we get there later. But I want you to check out this beautiful view. Hopefully the white clouds won't make it hard to see too much, but this is one of my favorite spots for taking photos. And let's try that again without me in the frame. Okay, so looking back this way, got some of the residents down there. There's a few little rooms. And just tell you a quick little story. You can see the cathedral, the main plaza back there, right in the middle of the frame. I think it was 2 trips ago, unbeknownst to me, I came here during a weekend when it's a fiesta, and it was just trawling with people, foreigners. Colombians love to come here on the weekends, and when it's a party time, they have a whole bunch of things set up in the main square. Loud music, a big music system, sometimes some live acts. And so I didn't reserve any rooms for myself, so I got here, and as I typically do, I just kind of wing it. And sure enough, I couldn't find any rooms anywhere in the main area. And trust me, there's a lot of hotels and hostels here. So, but you know, I had to be within my budget, which is about 25 Canadian dollars or less. So anyway, I wandered down the hill and I saw this elderly senora, and I just asked her, "Do you know of any hotels down this area?" And she said, "Venga, venga," which means come on, come on. And so she led me into her house, and in typical Colombia style, she was renting a couple of the rooms within her own house. So suddenly I had a room for a reasonable price, and it all worked out in the end. One of the main things I love about Colombia is just the flora and the fauna of the country. There's just a vast array. Every color you can think of practically in the rainbow, you'll find that color flowering in the trees and in bushes. And another little interesting fact, just while I think about it, I've been told that there's the largest number and variety of birds is aves, in the world. And there's certain areas that have more than others, but birding, as it's called, which is bird photography, is extremely huge here in Colombia. So if by chance you love to take photos of birds, this might be a great place for you to come. And again, this is the entrance to the zip line right here. Now, I'm not terribly into taking photos of birds, but later on we'll be going to the hummingbird sanctuary, and hummingbirds is colibris, and it's a really neat place. There's about 4 different varieties of hummingbirds that you can generally see, and so I don't mind taking photos when they're nice and convenient. But yeah, overall, sitting there waiting to spot birds isn't necessarily my thing, but going to the Santuario de las Colibris is a lot of fun. There's a small entrance fee. I'll describe that when we get there, but it's well worth the 2-hour walk. And speaking of the hummingbirds, las Colibris, here's a few photos that are posted on the outer walls by some of the shops. That's not a colibri, that's some kind of a bug, but anyway, at the sanctuary they have some hummingbird feeders, so obviously it attracts the hummingbirds, so you can sit in a certain spot and just snap away and hope you get some good photos. The other thing I love about this area here is the caballeros, the gentlemen that still wear more of a traditional, old, I guess you call it a cowboy style, Colombian style clothing. The sad part, though, however, is that they are slowly disappearing, and of course the younger people aren't dressing like that. Vehicle pass by. Yeah, the younger people of course aren't dressing like that, and so they're going to be disappearing soon. I love this old rustic door here, and I've been in this place before. I'll just stick my camera in for a second. It's a really neat place. It isn't quite open yet, but hopefully later on it'll be open. I'll go get a chance to go in here. quite common to see these beautiful flowers out in the jungle in Colombia. Hola perrito. Venga. Come here. Come here. Come here. Hola. Hola. ¿Estás tímida? Are you shy? Hola. ¿Cómo se llama? ¿Cómo se llama? You like the camera, don't you? Anything you'd like to say to all the people watching this? No? Okay. Bueno. Hasta luego. Hasta luego. Hasta luego. It's definitely worthwhile to wander around the side streets. You don't have a lot of time. Of course, you're mainly just going to go up the main street, but there's some neat little shops down the side streets as well. So if you have time. Hola. Hola, perro. Hola. ¿Estás amable o no? ¿Estás amable?
Hola.
Hola.
Excuse me. Hi.
Sí, sí.
Thank you. No, papi, no me sorbe perdido. No me...
As you can hear, some of the other guests in the hostel are a little noisy. I won't get too close to them because I don't want to scare them off, but keep it down, would you? And this is the main breakfast with the classic arepa con queso. Arepa with cheese and scrambled eggs. And I have a choice of coffee, tea, or hot chocolate. And so I chose chocolate. and a little bit of pan bread. Oh, it's the La Policía stopping somebody. Yeah, just so that you know, just while I think of it, if you're on a bus from, let's say, Bogota to Medellin or wherever else, it isn't uncommon for the buses to get pulled over at a police stop or a military stop, and they will request all the males to get off the bus, and they'll actually pat you down. And so if you've never been arrested by the police before, that could be fun. And anyway, they'll do a little pat down. They'll ask for your passport or ID. They'll run it through their little Big Brother computer system to see if you're a bad guy or a good guy. And most times I've been considered a good guy, and they give me my passport back, and away we go. But yeah, that's happened quite a few times, so if it does happen when you're on a bus, don't get all freaked out about it, because as long as you're not wanted by the law, you should be just fine. Buenos días. 3 empanadas de carne, por favor, para llevar. To go. Here, empanadas, chicken. ¿Y qué es eso?
Pastel de pollo.
Oh, pastel de pollo. Una pastel de pollo también, por favor. They have a new system. You used to pay here for going one way, and yeah, but now they have there and back. Entonces quiere ser. Okay, here we go. Leaving Salento. It's about 35 minutes, 40 paved roads, so not too bad standing on the edge here. Fall off. You say? That's what I said. But anyway, it's 4,000 pesos, which is only less than $2 Canadian, $1.50 US, for an hour round trip, so that's a pretty good deal. Alright, so I'm about to start up the many stairs to La Mirador. I'm not going to count them, but there's probably got to be at least a couple hundred. Here come the thunder and lightning again, just like yesterday afternoon. So this is La Mirador. Actually right behind me is this big tarped off area, so it's actually closed, part of it at least. But this will give you an idea what the view's like. But from here, you can walk down to another viewpoint covered area. So let's check it out, see if it's closed. I'm guessing that it'll be open. And now we're approaching the other viewpoint. Obviously raining, kind of misty. Looks kind of cool though. If you get out of line, this guy here is gonna shoot you. Just your regular traffic here in Salento. Buenos dias, mis amigos. Okay, so I'm at the little terminal in Salento. I thought I'd just do a little summary. Again, Salento's a great little place, clean, safe, lots of places to stay. Lots of backpackers come here as well. So yeah, it's a beautiful climate. And I forgot to mention that one of the things you have to try here if you haven't done this back home where I have, the famous thing to have for lunch or dinner is la trucha, which is trout. And of course we have lots of trout on Vancouver Island, so it isn't a big deal. But anyway, if you're here, you have to try the trout. It's usually about 13,000 pesos, 13,000 pesos, and up a little bit. Anyhow, we're just waiting for the bus right now from Salento to Pereira. Is 8,000 per person. That's about $3.80 Canadian, $3.20 American. So you know, not too much. About 40 minutes, 50 minutes into Pereira, and then next on our list of places to go, we'll be heading to Santa Rosa de Cabal. And at Santa Rosa de Cabal, very near there, you take a jeep to some hot springs. They're not natural as in, you know, out in the wild. It's a developed place, but I've been there before once, but it's been a while, so I'll pick up where I left off there. Ciao.
Wait. Number de bus, 448. ¿Está en Santana? No, en Denver. ¿A las 10? Y Denver no pasó para Contrasil. Sí. Ahí cuando tú te llamas Denver. Contrasil era Alcalá. Y de Denver, yo me pasó para Contrasil. Amor, y está pero en Canadá o en tu país. En Estados Unidos. Ah, yo me quedé estar en Canadá. ¿Dónde va, amor? No es sonando la nave.
Hola.
Hola.
This character has been here for many years. Cuéntame un poco de ti. ¿Cómo se llama tu nombre?
César Augusto.
Augusto.
César Augusto.
¿Tú has estado trabajando aquí por cuántos años?
9 años.
9 años.
Sí. de las 6 de la media de la mañana hasta las 9.
Sí.
15, 20 días seguidos. Descansó 2 y regreso, sí, por 9 años.
Eres muy chistoso.
Dicen que hayan comedia, hayan funny.
Sí, exactamente. Él es muy famoso en Salento.
Sí, pero quiero ser famoso en el mundo.
El hombre el más famoso en todo
Salento.
Salento.
Me dicen palma seca.
Bueno,
Palma seca.
mucho gusto. Espero regresar otra vez pronto a Salento.
Mucho gusto.
Gracias por todo.
Dios lo
Chao. Yeah, if you want the bus driver to stop, you say, por acá, por favor. Or para aquí.